Happy New Year, my ADHD family. I wanted to start this year just one-on-one without any guest and welcome you to another year of ADHD Love Parent Talk. I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank you for all of your support and please continue to share the information. I think it is so important that we share the knowledge around ADHD so more people will learn about it, know about it, have compassion for those people that have it, and hopefully will change some of their systems around it. So I'm so excited about bringing you more guests, be it parents or other professionals, those who work with parents that have ADHD and children that have ADHD. I'm just excited about bringing you that information. Now, if you have a topic that you want to hear about, please definitely reach out to me. You can reach out to me at info@ADHDlove2020.com. You can also reach me through Instagram. All that information will be below in the comments, okay? So I definitely want to make sure I'm continuing to bring information that you need. Secondly, I want to make sure that I acknowledge people have had a lot of struggles in 2021, be it around their ADHD journey or even outside of their ADHD journey. There has just been a lot going on in 2021. So for you, I wish you healing. I wish you, blessings in 2022. I just wish that things will completely turn around, and I claim, or I am putting out there, a better year for you. For those who've had a great 2021, because I've heard a lot of successes for 2021, I am wishing you even more blessings that more than you can handle. And I just want you all to know, regardless of what direction that you have gone in 2021, I just want you to know that I am definitely here for you and I am rooting for you in either way. All right. So I wanted to say that next. Lastly, I wanted to talk about the topic today. So the topic today for me is finding your community. The reason why I wanted to bring this topic at the very beginning of the year is because throughout last year, no matter what we discussed, no matter what we talked about, we always did it within a community. And we always learned, those who use the community really learned how precious and how strong a community can be as you are going along this ADHD journey. So I really wanted to talk about community today. I've done some short topics around it, but I really want to get into a little more depth at the beginning of this year, because that is one of the things that I would recommend that you do is find your community this year. There's nothing like support of a great supportive community. And so that is something I want to talk to you about today. And so I'm going to be talking to you about 3 particular topics. What is a community? How do you go about finding your community? Is it important to find a healthy community? And actually a 4th area, why is it important to find a community? So not necessarily in that order, but I really wanted to touch on those 4 areas today. One of the reasons why I wanted to touch on this is because I want you to know that you are not alone. I say this a lot, just all of the time, because one of the things when I started this journey, I felt like I was the only one that knew and understood what I was going through. I didn't realize that there were so many people walking similar steps as I was walking. And there were people out there that could support me and love me and really lift me up when I was going through those hard times, or share tips and tricks that I could try out, within my family. And so having that community has just made me that much stronger. And I want you to know there is a community just for you out there. And I tell you, I believe you shouldn't travel alone. I believe that, especially during this type of journey, because you go through a lot of ups and downs. And when those downs are downs, I tell you, they're emotional, and they are just, how do you say it? I just feel like, sometimes you're just struggling and you're paralyzed with just frustration or fear. And when you are able to talk to other people that understand you, it makes a huge difference. So I truly believe that you should never be walking this ADHD journey alone. And so I really wanted to talk through that today. Okay. So let's get into it because I know how our attention spans can be. So I wanted just to go through this pretty quickly. And if you ever have any questions for me, please let me know. And before we go through these tips, this year, I really am looking for your support. I want to get this information out that I put out to as many people as possible. I want people to learn about the ADHD brain and have compassion. And like I said, be able to support those with ADHD, especially our children, as they are going through along this journey. And the only way they can do that is by pushing out information like this. So please make sure that you subscribe, make sure that you like it. So then that way the algorithm will know that it is a good video and it will push it out to more people. And then also make sure you comment and just share what do you do in terms of finding your own community. Okay. So first of all, really quickly, what is a community? A community is a social unit where there are common interests, right? So for this particular topic, it is parents that have ADHD children or parents that have ADHD children. So I focus a lot on that community. Adults like me who got diagnosed late or who's been dealing with it all their life, I talk a lot about that. And then how do you work with your own ADHD to help your children, right, through their particular situations. So finding a community that supports you. You may not have children, but you may work with children. You may teach and work with children that have ADHD. Finding other teachers that work with ADHD children can also be very powerful. So it is also a place where you can grow as parents, or like I said, as those who work with children. And then in turn, you are able to help your children grow. Because one of the things I always talk about, the importance for me is for my children to eventually be able to advocate for themselves. I want to make sure that when they walk out this door, that they are able to ask for help or ask for accommodations when they feel that they need them. And because I'm not going to be with them always, right? I mean, I'm not at school with them all day. So I want them to grow, to be able to ask for the things that they need. So really, really growing, I'm growing. And then as I learn information, I teach my children how to receive that information and then how to advocate for themselves. Okay. How do you go about finding communities? So I look at communities just for my particular situation in two separate areas, right? I have the communities that support my children, and then I find communities that help me as a parent and as a parent that has ADHD. So for my children, I look at communities that they are going to be working directly with. Okay. So their community includes the people at school, so the specialists or the guidance counselor or the principal, their teachers, all of them are on the same page of what they need and when they need it, right? They're also on the same page on if my child is not able to express a situation or how to talk through a situation, I will be there to support them and talk to the teacher on their behalf. If my child is able to express a situation or, they're upset about something, they will be there for them to listen and help guide them to find a solution, right? So it's really important that they have a community of people in a community, this happens to be a community of adults where they can sit down, express their concerns, express their wins, whatever it may be, and really grow from that, okay? The other people that I look for, the other part of the community is I want them to not be necessarily yes people, right? Yes, they're going to get accommodations, but I also want those who will kindly stretch them. I kindly stretch them at home. In other words, for example, they play in the orchestra, right? So one plays the cello, the other plays the violin. Every day, I have them come home and play just a little bit a day because I want them to stretch and I want them to get better at what they are doing. And that is not the only area that I stretch them in. It's the same thing at school. I want to make sure that the teachers are challenging them. I want them to learn and to grow in their brain, to expand, because my children are smart children. And so I don't want them just this because my kids do not want to do something. Maybe they don't want to read a particular book the rest of the class is reading. That can't happen, right? I want them to push them and challenge them and stretch them, but in a kind manner. Okay. Now, for me, for a parent, I look for my own community. I started looking for communities in my local area, and there's actually an organization that is local where they support parents that have neurodivergent children. So it is a really nice community to come and ask questions. They have speakers come in. So that is one type of community that you could look for somewhere that is in your local area. I also really connected with people online. I've met people through Facebook, really met people through Instagram and through Clubhouse, and actually have become friends with a lot of people that are in the parent ADHD community. And so we are able to bounce, our life off of each other and talk through different things and just have some really deep conversations that I may not always be able to have with my neurotypical friends, right? Because my neurodivergent friends really understand what I'm thinking. Again, they will challenge me, which I need to be challenged, but at the same time, they will listen, and they will listen with support and an open heart. Okay. You can also look for community through meetups. There's a lot of different meetups out there where they get together and really talk about different situations around their children. There are people that have support groups. So through meeting people online, there are people who have their own small support groups and will have live conversations where people can just kind of talk about different situations. They'll have different topics. And that might be a way to meet other people that that you connect with or that you can connect with. You can create your own community, right? There's nothing wrong with creating your own community. The people that I said had different groups, they created their own community. And you can, have different topics that you want to discuss and also ask for different topics that other people want to talk about. So really connecting and building your own community, that can be an option too. Okay. So there are just many ways you can go out and find a community. And if you are a person that is more of an introvert, I always recommend going to a community like the group community where you don't always have to be the one to talk, but you can listen to stories, or you can go to communities like a Clubhouse, for example, where people don't visually, they don't see you, and you can listen to other people talking and sharing their stories, and you can just sit there, right? So there's a lot of options where you can grow, you can learn, and you can get that support, okay? So, is it important to find a healthy community? Absolutely. It is absolutely important to find a healthy community. The whole purpose of finding a community is for you to connect and feel safe and be able to be open and share what's going on in your heart and ask, what you may think are silly questions and feel safe to put that out there. I know communities, unfortunately, that will bash people for the questions that they ask. Those are not the communities you want to be a part of. You want to be able to be open with your questions, no matter how stupid you feel that they are, right? Because if you don't ask, you won't get some really good answers to help you through that situation. So it's really important to find healthy communities. I'm not saying finding yes people, because again, there are people that if it doesn't sound right, they should challenge, right? But doing it in a kind manner and not making you feel like you are worthless or stupid for asking that question or making a statement. So yes, you need to be able to feel safe in a community. You don't want to be around people also that do not believe in ADHD, okay? Because you will just go around in circles trying to convince them of a situation when you are really on a journey. You are on a journey of gathering knowledge and learning about your child and figuring out how you can help your child and how you can advocate for them. You cannot take the time to work with people who do not believe in ADHD. You need to work with those people who understand ADHD that can help, like I said, either give you tips and tricks or that can help guide you in the right direction. You do not want to be around a community of people that absolutely don't believe in it. Plus, it's just a waste of time, right? It's just a waste of time to have those conversations and to try to prove your point. You don't want to be around people that do not believe in it. So yes, it is very important to find a healthy community. So lastly, why is it important to find a community at all? Right? I'm getting tangled up here. I talked a little bit about it in the beginning, but first of all, when it comes to working with your child, I always believed in the village mentality, especially working with children like mine who are neurodivergent children. I can't do this all by myself. And I realized that having different perspectives and really good, strong, positive people that are going to stretch my children and love my children is really important in our lives, right? So having other people willing to do their part and work with my children has been the best thing for all of us. It really took a village. I mean, I literally have quite a few people that work with my children directly during the school year and during the summer to help them grow. And in the end, it helps me grow too. So being able to find a good community for my children is a positive experience, honestly, for all of us, okay? When it comes to helping me, sometimes I just need to stay sane, right? I mean, being able to talk to other parents that are going through what I'm going through just helps me sometimes take that stress off. I mean, yes, I'm still having the pressure, but it's like it relieves that moment of stress and thinking, am I the only one that is dealing with this, right? Even though I've been dealing with this for years, every once in a while, I take a step back and say, does this happen to any other parent? And I will say my community reminds me that yes, Yakini, yes, it happens to us too. And this is how we have dealt with it. So again, I'm always learning new things to try for myself to keep myself sane. Like we talk about, taking time for yourself, self-care. That has been absolutely so important for my own growth, for my own sanity. And so I can show up as a balanced parent when things come up with my children. Okay. And the biggest part is, like I pretty much said in the beginning, it really makes me feel like I'm not alone. Okay. And that is the biggest thing, when you feel that nobody else gets you, because yes, there's this statistic out there that says that 11% of children are in the US are diagnosed with ADHD, but you don't always know who they are, right? You don't know the other parents that are struggling and going through what you are going through. So you don't have people that are just openly talking about this. So again, for a while, I thought it was just me. And so being able to know that you are not alone in this journey, I'm telling you, that alone is so powerful. There will be times when, I get emotional just from listening to other people's stories. and just thinking, oh my gosh, I mean, things will come up that I didn't even think were tied to an ADHD journey. And when people say, yeah, that's what happened to me, and yeah, this is how I experienced it, and it's it's just amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So knowing that you're not alone is, I think, the biggest thing. Okay. So this year, I want you to find your community. If you haven't found one, or if you are in an unhealthy community, I want you to find a community that supports you, loves you, and will challenge you, but will challenge you with kindness. And I want you to take care of yourself. Okay. So you will be there more clearly for your children. All right, everyone. So again, I am so excited about this year. Join me as I talk to more wonderful people, like I said, more parents that can share their own experiences, or more professionals that can talk about ADHD and other topics like binge eating, or how do I do my, help my children do their homework. Just all these different topics I have coming up this year. I'm so excited to share with you. All right. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Definitely share. And if you like this topic, or like this, I will say, introduction to the new year, please, please hit the like button. All right. And I want to hear from you. Just share with me, how are you going about finding your community? Or if you found your community, how has it helped you? All right. Have a wonderful day, everyone. And I look forward to talking with you more this year. All right. Take care. Bye.